I've got Cari. She's the Director of Institutional Belonging and the Title IX Coordinator here at the University of Indianapolis. She is at the Office of Inclusive Excellence here at UINDY. That's a mouthful, long title. It
definitely is.
Thank you so much for joining us
today. Of
course. How are you?
Living the dream.
Yeah?
Yep.
Semester's going well?
It's going well.
Good.
Just like students, the staff and faculty are definitely ready for the summer to start, for sure.
All right. Well, tell me a bit about yourself. How did you get here to UINDY? You know,
Yeah.
kind of like your path, your timeline.
Yeah, I am a Greyhound through and through. So
Okay.
I started at UINDY as a freshman in 2015
Yeah.
and studied psychology and business while I was here. 2019 is when I graduated, so I like to tell people I had the last normal college experience ever.
Right.
So thank goodness for that. And then while I was a student here, I worked in the Office of Admissions as an ambassador, and I was giving tours, and I really loved to sell UINDY. I loved the idea of helping people find their fit when they came here and helping them understand whether or not they might be a Greyhound. So my first gig after college was starting as an admissions counselor. From there, I started really focusing in on diversity recruitment, so really having targeted admissions toward underrepresented groups,
Gotcha.
students that might not even recognize that college is really worth it for them, not just UINDY being worth it, right? So I was working with students to really talk about the value of college, and that's where I really started doing more, like I said, targeted diversity work to underrepresented groups. I spent a couple years in admissions, and then it's just been 2 years in the Office of Inclusive Excellence, and I've been able to hang out with students and make memories and give back to the Greyhounds.
I can see how the timeline kind of leads you all towards this one point.
Yeah,
and we're happy to have you here on campus.
Thank
You
you.
do great work, I hear. Tell me about what the Office of Inclusive Excellence does exactly.
Yeah.
I know it's probably a very wide margin, and we'll go over some more things, but if you could give me like a brief, broad summary.
Yeah, I'll go the 360 view. So
Okay.
the Office of Inclusive Excellence and Retention Strategy. So basically what we're trying to do is make sure that students have a place where they can go even if they're not sure where to go.
Yeah.
So we want our students to understand that college is a weird time, and growing up and living in the year 2024, it's a crazy time, right?
It
So
is.
we want to make sure that we provide a safe space for students, especially those who don't have the same levels of representation on campus. We want to make sure that the events that we put on, the programming that we put on, and the support that we offer is support that is really needed by our underrepresented populations.
Yeah, for sure. So what can my fellow students do to be involved with the office?
Yeah, come out, hang out with us in all of our events. Like, we do so many cool things. So we had a hand in putting on the Howl, the music festival.
Okay.
We put on barbershop events where people could come in and get free haircuts.
Sweet.
Beauty shop, same thing. Get your nails done, get your hair kind of treated and primed.
Yeah.
So yeah, come out and be a part of our events. We also have retention programs. So they're clubs and organizations kind of that are targeted towards underrepresented groups. So Black Male Initiative, Black Women Collective, Hispanic Latino Colectivo, and the Asian American Pacific Islander Initiative. So those are all groups that are kind of like accountability partners, study partners, helping you really get to the grind of college.
Yeah, no, for sure. So kind of looking through your page, I assume just the Office of Inclusive Excellence, UINDY, go check them out if you'd like. I saw a bias incident report.
Yes.
And it caught my eye.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about what that is and how someone can fill one of those out?
Absolutely, yeah. So bias is something that's like when somebody has an affinity or maybe even a negative affinity towards one thing, right?
Yeah.
So when I think bias, sometimes you also might think of like the word discrimination, right?
Okay.
So if there's a bias, if you feel like you've been treated differently based on your race, your gender, your sexual orientation, your religion, anything like that, if you've experienced something where you're like, I think my identity has something to do with why I'm being treated this way or why I'm experiencing this thing, you can fill out that bias incident report, and my team will take that back. We'll investigate what happened. We'll ask you questions. We'll ask the people around you questions, and we'll try to get to the bottom of it and address it appropriately.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure that's come in handy a handful of times.
Yeah,
here and there.
I definitely think that UINDY could do a little bit better to educate the community on what that looks like, because it is pretty vague, right?
Yeah.
So that's some work that we're also trying to doing, is educating the campus community about those resources and helping students understand when the best time to use it is. But I'm excited to infuse some of that knowledge into our community and see how we can best support our students.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's very daunting for someone who's going through something like that. As a student, you can definitely feel like you're on the lesser end of the hierarchy, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's like, who is it my place to speak out when something's going on?
Yeah.
So you guys work to kind of negate that feeling, if you will.
Absolutely, yeah. So something that I like to talk about is the students that are working in my office, the staff that are working in my office, we're professional friends.
Yeah.
Like our job is to make sure that you feel comfortable, you feel safe enough, that you know that your experience is valid and no one else can take away what's happened to you or how you have perceived what's happened to you. And we want to help you navigate beyond that, right? And it definitely is daunting, especially being at a primarily white institution. So if you're experiencing something and you feel very much othered, it can be hard to lean into a group where you feel othered, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
we want people to know that OIE is a place where they can kind of go and sort out some of those confusing moments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. So could you explain to me what Title IX is?
Yes.
And their, submitting sexual misconduct reports, that whole page on your site, on your in your little corner here at UINDY. Can you explain what,
Absolutely.
that's all about?
Yeah, so Title IX is a protected federal law. So it requires colleges and universities to respond promptly to incidences of sexual assault, sexual violence, and sexual misconduct. Those seem kind of like lofty words, but if you think about it, Title IX was really brought about in the early 70s to support women in their equity in higher education and their equity in sports. And that's since expanded to making sure that anyone has their equal access to education. And they don't have to worry about things like sexual harassment, sexual assault, and misconduct to get in the way of them being able to get a quality education. So if somebody has ever experienced one of those things where it's created a situation where it's hard for you to go to class, it's hard for you to show up and feel like you can be successful here, then I definitely encourage them to reach out to our office and see what kind of support we have for them.
Yeah, it's also very present in the workplace.
Yes,
I know.
yes.
There's always, whenever you start a new job, there's Title IX reports and agreements you have to go through. And so there's no place in the world for any of that. And it's just kind of like rules in place to keep everybody in line.
Yeah, it's a better way to, it's sort of like a guideline on how we should treat each other in the workplace, treat each other in school, how to make sure that everyone really has a fair chance at whatever kind of dreams they have and that they're able to pursue those accordingly. Yeah,
of course. So could you tell me more about, being a part of inclusivity and everything? It's very broad. There's lots of different groups and parties and factions, if you will. So you tell me more about UINDY Pride and their representation here.
Yeah. So definitely we want to partner with the LGBTQ community a lot more. We have some cool events. We just did one a couple weeks ago that was called Dating Outside the Box.
Okay.
And so that event was talking about how, for the most part, when we talk about sexual health and sexual awareness, we tend to talk about it from like a heteronormative, straight relationship lens. And so we wanted an opportunity to talk a little bit more about what are relationships, what is sexual health when you're not in one of those heteronormative relationships. So we brought in outside partners to really help support some of that work. So that's another thing that we do to make sure that students have representation is if we don't have it on campus, we want to make sure that we can find it in our community as well. So a center like the Damien Center, who works really closely with the LGBTQ community about sexual health and sexual awareness, we partnered with them. Beach Grove Substance Misuse Coalition, we brought them in as well. So we're always trying to make sure that if students aren't really aware of the representation that is here on campus, that they know that their community outside of campus also is there to support them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of things, like you mentioned, Damien.
So many
facilities.
Things. Yeah.
Here in Indianapolis, we're so close to a big major hub there, and so we're not in the middle of a cornfield, if you will.
Definitely
so
not.
There's definitely stuff out there.
Yeah, and there's lots of cool nonprofit organizations in the city too. Indianapolis is really good about having nonprofits and people that care about the community and want to answer that call.
Yeah, and so outside of everything happening outside of campus, kind of honing in on campus, within the student-led organizations. I'm just going to list off a few that were on the site here. You got the Black Student Association, you got the Chinese Student Union, you got Indian Student Association, Modern Languages Club, Student Organization of Latinos, you've got UINDY Pride, Gay Straight Alliance, you've got the Catholic Student Association, you've got the Muslim Student Union. Those are just a handful of the student-led organizations that offer something for people to feel included based on wherever you're from, whatever your background is. And so I think those are really cool for us to have here at UINDY.
Yeah.
And it's just more inclusivity for all those different parties, all
yeah.
those different people.
I definitely think that finding community is really important.
Yeah.
And even more so than finding community, exposure to those communities is even more so important. So while I definitely agree that it's so awesome that our students who are generating these clubs and being members of these clubs are participating, I highly encourage the students on campus who aren't a part of these identity groups to come out to their events, show up to the things that they're putting on and support them in those ways, because the exposure to other cultures and the exposure to all the other experiences that happen on our campus, to me, has been really enriching. And you know, you'd think that somebody that works in the DEI realm would know everything about everything, but I definitely don't.
There's stuff to learn.
Always stuff to learn, and it's really exciting to really be immersed in those cultures when you can.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think we do a lot of really good things here to try to include everybody. My last question for you here, the last thing that I found on the page was the food pantry.
Yes.
Can you talk to me about what that is and how people can be involved?
Absolutely, yeah. So the food pantry was born around 2020, right? So 2020 was an interesting time in the universe, and so we wanted to make sure that students had access to whatever kind of supports or needs that they might have. So the food pantry was born. It's a free grocery pickup. It is located in the chapel, so just across the street from Esch Hall.
Okay.
Anytime you can go to our website and do free grocery pickup sign up. You really don't need to know much. We just need to know your name and your number and when you want to come shop for groceries. And then throughout the semester, you can see we'll do food pantry drives and things like that.
Okay.
So Hounds Helping Hounds is a really important motto when it comes to our food pantry and keeping that fresh. But yeah, any student, faculty, or staff member is welcome to participate, either donate, pick up, whatever, do both. Yeah. Whatever works for you, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this little information segment we got here on Good Morning Greyhounds. We're going to have some fun trivia questions and games after this short break.
How about those Nuggets this year, Jace? It sounds like a chip to me.
They ain't going back to back. Ain't no one getting past Boston. They got a super team, man.
All right, Jace, check up. This is the last call. Jace and I head-to-head on football, baseball, basketball, and everything UINDY.
Mondays, 6 p.m. UINDY TV on YouTube and Xfinity Stream Channel 1096.
I missed you guys. Those breaks are way too long for me. Up next, I've got a little trivia game here with Cari. So let's get into our first question here.
Let's do it.
This little wheel I found on the home page of the Office of Inclusivity.
Yeah.
And you've got the different parts. Could you explain what this wheel is, for starters?
Okay, so this is pretty much the foundation of the type of work that we try to do. So we're looking at access and equity. Those are things we care about.
Yeah.
Learning and development. We care about the climate on campus and diversity in curriculum. And I'm assuming you're going to ask me what the next one is.
What's this next one?
Something about engagement.
Let's take a look. Intercultural engagement, correct. I'll give you that one.
I didn't know intercultural, but I knew it was something about getting engaged.
That's all part of it.
Yeah.
Get engaged.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next question here.
Okay.
When was Title IX signed into law? We got 1955, 1738, 2006, and 1972.
I got this one, 1972.
Let's see. Boom. Correct. We talked a bit about Title IX earlier, about how important that is.
Definitely.
1972, it's been around for a while.
Yeah, it's quite a while, yeah.
So, how many flags are carried during UINDY's celebration of flags that we saw earlier last fall?
Okay.
We have 101, 75, 32, and 99 flags.
I'm stuck between B and C.
Okay.
I'm going to go with B.
Let's see.
Oh, I'm a good guesser.
75. For those who don't know, the celebration of flags is a UINDY tradition modeled after the Olympics opening ceremony. The celebration is UIndy's rich diversity and honors their students, faculty, and staff from more than 75 countries. It is a unique experience like no other, and during this beautiful spectacle, flag bearers feature the national colors and dress, from their respective country.
Yeah.
Following the celebration of flags, students, faculty, and staff make their way to the International Exposition held in the Shreve Atrium of the Schweitzer Student Center. The expo features interactive displays and activities such as henna tattoos, Chinese calligraphy, traditional artifacts, and clothing displays.
Yeah.
The most recent one was last October, and so keep an eye out for that in the fall.
Yeah, World Fest.
Let's go to our next question here. When did Facebook first expand their gender identity options, giving users up to 56 choices? We got 2014, 2007, 2021, and 2019.
Oh, it can't. I don't think it. I want to say 2021. C.
Let's see. 2014
Dang. Okay.
is our answer that we've got.
Right.
Next question. What is your favorite place on campus? This is our last question.
Okay.
Of the given options below, Smith Mall, Good Hall, the bookstore, and third floor Esch.
Okay. I'm going to give an answer and a half.
Okay.
Good Hall is my OG.
Okay.
I'm a sociology master, so shout out to the
Okay.
sociologists in there. But
Yeah.
after today, I might say the third floor of Esch Hall.
Correct answer. Good floor. Good answer. Third floor Esch. Thank you so much for joining us
No
on
problem.
this very fun episode of Good Morning
Yes.
Greyhounds. We've got a lovely package from Adel and Ashley coming up.
My name is Adel, and I am a student here at UINDY. Let's go see what a day in my life looks like.
So actually, I kind of forgot to do a day in my life. So we're gonna work out at the UINDY gym. Okay, the first machine I have chosen to work out with is the leg press. So we're starting off on 100s, and we'll see how it goes. Go up to 200. Where's the Gymshark logo? I'm official, clearly. Here, do it again, do it again, do it again. Go. No. Just one time. No. These acceptable. Those acceptable. Those are not.
What's wrong with them?
Okay. Now we're gonna do some bench press. I'm gonna need a spotter, so I have my dear friend Connor here, who is going to spot me because I don't think I can lift this. Put that in there anymore. Today I'm gonna demonstrate how not to do a push-up by trying my hardest to do a push-up. This is a real one. If I can't get up, it's because I bench pressed. That's why.
Otto, how was that workout?
So good.
What'd you enjoy most about it?
Right now.
What's right now?
Sitting.
Did you come frequently?
Clearly. So you guys just got to experience the gym with me. I hope you enjoyed it, because clearly I did. But back to UINDY TV.
Amazing work as always, ladies. Hopefully that inspired you to visit our workout facilities here on campus. I know I'm amped up to get a lift in. And quick shout out to the lovely 8th graders we have in the studio here. Let's get a view of them. Give me a little woo woo! They've been joining us all morning during radio, during TV, kind of getting a look and see what we're doing here. So thank you so much for watching this week, last week, and all semester. We all had a great time making this show, and we're all super excited to have our first semester of TV in the books. UINDY TV Awards, the commies, next week. Check it out. If you're going to go. I'll see you there. Thank you so much to everybody who had a part in making this season of Good Morning Greyhounds what it was. From the Ellison-Barlow combo on the packages, to Rick Dunkel putting up with our shenanigans, to our producer on delay and our directors Evan Porterfield and Kennedy Phelps. I know I speak for all my classmates when I say thank you so much for everything you guys have done to help us put this show together. So for the last time here on Good Morning Greyhounds, have a great day, and even better tomorrow, and have a great summer break. Thank you so much for watching.